Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Sunday, June 29th, 10 p.m. Mountain Time, 2025. The 27th paroxysm at Kilauea is ongoing. We live streamed it all day, and the live stream will be up as soon as we're done filming this episode. Buckle up and keep calm. It's boom time. Holy macaroni, an active shooter and wildfire situation is unfolding in Idaho after firefighters are ambushed in a deadly incident today. Authorities believe at least 2 firefighters were killed as they continue to take rapid sniper fire in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. This is insane breaking news. A sniper who is still on the loose Sunday night shot at firefighters battling a mountain wildfire in Idaho, killing at least 2 people and injuring even more, according to authorities. During a news conference, Kootenai County Sheriff Robert Norris said at least 2 people were killed, possibly firefighters. Norris added they are still actively taking sniper fire as he spoke. Now we have 2 deaths. We have an unknown amount of casualties, Norris said. We still have civilians that are coming off that mountain. We might have civilians that are stuck or in shock on the mountain, so it's a very fresh situation. In fact, the sheriff is imploring all people with firepower, if they see the sniper, to take him out. That's good news. And over at Oppenheimer Ranch Project at Diamond the Dave on X, we want you to follow us there. We have this raw news alert we reposted.
Well, people in that area need to be very careful because the sheriff has also said that if anybody gets a clear shot at the shooter or shooters, that they should take them out. And this is going to make it very difficult for law enforcement to try to determine who is in their sights. Maybe there's some innocent people, and they certainly don't want to take innocent individuals out. But this is a very fluid, active situation there in the Coeur d'Alene, Idaho area. And by the way, Molly, I've been in that area. This is right around the Canfield Mountain area there.
So we have an active shooter, and the sheriff is imploring people that have firepower, if they see the shooter, to take him out. I don't know if this is such a good idea, because how would you know if it's the sniper you're taking out? Well, moving on to other news. They said it's a wildfire incident, so let's take a look at the smoke and fire map here. I don't really see any big wildfires in Idaho, but apparently one of these near Coeur d'Alene is where that sniper is positioned. We can see the fires in southern Utah still burning strong and responsible for most of the smoke here we see in this plume. And big news, the second named tropical storm of the season for the Atlantic is now Tropical Storm Barry, which only lasted for a few hours. It did become the second named storm of the season, but is now just a paltry tropical depression Barry as it moves onshore here. Maximum sustained winds at 35 miles per hour. They're going to have massive flooding on the eastern shores of Mexico, so pray for all those involved. Disturbance 1 may also rafe its way across Florida, bringing much-needed rain for the parched state. 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 7 days. And it was a spectacular showing in South Dakota with the lightning. Let's take a look at this. Absolutely amazing. This is last night around dusk. That is a huge leader. And multiple examples of amazing lightning occurring in South Dakota yesterday. The universe, by the way, is electric. It's why we are all here. You are an electrochemical bag of water. And if it wasn't for electricity, you would not be alive, because your body, well, it's creating it spontaneously through biological processes. just like the atmosphere of Earth is alive with electricity. Big shout out to Jordan Hall Weather, WX, for the footage. What a great job. And join us over at our X page, Oppenheimer Ranch Project, at Diamond the Dave, where you can follow all the breaking news as it occurs during the day. And now the full forecast. We've got heat and fire weather concerns in the west. Heat will build over the intermontane west and the southwest the next couple of days. Lightning from dry thunderstorms can create new wildfire starts, and combined with gusty winds may cause a fire to rapidly grow in Oregon and even northern California, perhaps. Elevated fire weather conditions are also expected in the Great Basin where we live. Flash flooding will be possible in Arizona and West Texas due to the increased monsoon, which we're going to get to in just a moment, especially in burn scars. So pray for ruidoso. And here is the map. We'll walk the GFS model through the most recent run. Here is Monday and Tuesday into Wednesday and Thursday. You can see a general unsettled weather pattern across the U.S. No major severe weather outbreaks. Here is Thursday and into Friday. And again, Saturday, you can see some tropical systems moving up the Pacific and doing nothing, just rapidly deteriorating. Here's the weekend. At the end of the weekend here, Sunday, we could see some severe weather up in the Great Lakes that really kicks off, so we'll be keeping a close eye on that. Taking a look at total accumulated precipitation to see if we can put some of these fires out, and the news is good. Here we are as we enter July, and you can see in July the pattern move west as far as moisture. Here's July 2nd, July 3rd, and July 4th. That is good news for the west. Here's the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th. So what we have is a really good tropical pattern that's going to really bring some moisture to the Four Corners region, as well as Montana and Wyoming, as well as Idaho, and even the deserts of Oregon. Good news there. Seismic update. Very low-level activity worldwide. Take a look at this. Holy macaroni. The biggest quakes in the region, 5.2 in Japan. We've got a 5.1 in Papua New Guinea. We've got a 5.1 south of Panama, an interesting mid-ocean ridge quake here in the Norwegian Sea. And we've got a rumbler here in Russia, far eastern, southeastern Russia. And those are the facts. And we are live over at Kilauea's 27th paroxysm. As soon as we're done recording the show, we're going to put another live stream up on Rumble over at Magnetic Reversal News on Rumble. So go check out the live stream. We'll also be live streaming it on Twitter, simulcasting even. So go check out those streams. The fountaining looks epic. 600 feet is about here. So that little spray was probably 1,000 foot. Absolutely spectacular events over at Kilauea. And that brings us to worldwide volcano news for the day, and that is the 29th of June. The first on the list today was Ibu at 6,000 feet. Swanosima erupted today to 8,000. Ducona to 8,000. Semedu, who knew, now you do, 15,000 foot blast. Reventador to 14,000 foot. Shivalush, 14,000 foot blast there. Kirishima, possible volcanic activity today. Libotolo to 7,000 feet. Raung, 13,000 foot blast. Ibu to 6,000, Sungay to 23,000, and then midday, we have the start of the 27th eruptive episode at Kilauea. Liwotolo followed with a 7,000 foot blast. Kirishima, 8,000 foot puff today. Swanosima, 7,000 foot blast. We like to have fun over here. Semedu, who knew, now you do. 15,000 foot puff today. Raventador to 14,000 foot. Shivalush to 14,000 foot. Swanosima, 8,000 foot blast. There's the recap. Dukono to 8,000. Kirishima on the list, a 7,000 foot puff. It's getting spicy in Japan, folks. Ibu to 6,000 feet. Liwotolo to 8,000 feet. Sangay, well, no volcanic ash detected, and that wraps up worldwide volcano news for the day. Quick look at space weather, and we have some activity incoming. A minor G1 geomagnetic storm is on the list for July 2nd, and this is because of a faint partial halo CME observed leaving the sun on Saturday. It's predicted to possibly pass the Earth July 2nd, which this coronal hole, 61, might also be coupling with us at the same time. So we could get a 1-2 punch, and maybe July 3rd, we could get into G2, geomagnetic storming. It's just a guess based on information. Yeah, we're not making it up. There is that halo CME leaving the sun on the 29th, headed our way. And at the same time, we could have advanced plasma streams coming from that coronal hole. What we do know is that the model shows a spike from the 2nd to the 3rd. And if that coronal hole couples with us late on the 2nd into the 3rd, we could have an extended geomagnetic storm headed our way. Additionally, there have been limb eruptions today. A pair of coronal mass ejections were visible following prominence activity off the west limb. The first event began around 1400 UTC today and is associated with a westerly directed CME here and a northerly directed CME here. None of those are going to affect us, and they'll just go out into space. But what this shows us is the Earth facing quiet is real and continuing today. So as sunspots hit the limb, they're more likely to flare than when they're facing Earth. That's all that means. Now, here's a fun article coming out from the Daily Mail. Look familiar? Scientists reveal what Neanderthals and Denisovans would look like today if they hadn't gone extinct. And Leah and I have often posited, and this is our position, that these species that we could interbreed with aren't species at all. They're the same species of Homo sapien, just a different variety, like dogs. A Chihuahua is nothing like a Mastiff or a Doberman or a Pit Bull. They all look different. And in today's archaeological world, if we didn't know they actually were alive and we created them, if we found them in antiquity, Pit Bulls, Mastiffs, Dobermans, they would all be different species because we determine species based on morphology in antiquity and not on any facts like genetics, etc. So I think that we are closer related to Denisovans and Neanderthals than the archaeological community is letting us aware of. Because we could interbreed with them. They are in our genomes. Here's what a Neanderthal man might look like sitting on the subway today. And here, a Neanderthal banker. Here we have a Denisovan woman who's taking a train ride. And here we have a Denisovan waiting for the bus. Another Denisovan hiking at high altitude. And a Neanderthal Homo sapien family. And here is a Neanderthal at the bar. And a Neanderthal at the beach. Man, they got big noses. And a fun video to finish up tonight's update. An 18-wheeler slams into an electrical worker in Louisiana intersection just the other day. Miraculously, the dude in the bucket is okay with just scrapes and bruises, but I'm sure OSHA is not pleased. This guy is definitely not 14 feet off the ground, which is where you have to be to not be struck by tractor trailers. And in fact, it is these two idiots' fault and not the tractor trailer driver. If they didn't want him to come into this lane, they would have put up cones here, not around the truck, but to protect cars from coming into the lane, which they did not. Take a look at what happens. And we'll get rid of that stupid music. Let me bring it back. Here comes the guy. He's like, no, don't come here. Boom! And thank God for OSHA. This guy has a full body harness that is attached to the boom. And literally, this is a boom. And the guy's like, no, slow down. Don't hit my buddy. And in fact, he does. And so thankfully, this guy is all right. And I'm sure the company, the linesmen here may lose their certifications or what have you. And, well, bad on them. I would have never been in that situation. And I don't even have the particular training these linesmen have. I do have OSHA certifications, but there definitely needs to be cones here. And the tractor trailer driver is not at fault. That could have been a blind spot. He couldn't have even seen the dude, for goodness sakes. And good news, there's still time for you to get in on the Starlink deal. It's actually going to last for another 5.5 months, thanks to Elon Musk. In certain regions across the world, Starlink is now being offered for free through influencers. You can get a free standard kit, which I paid $650 for, if you pay a full year's worth of service. And within that years of service, you get a free month, and we get a free month. So support the work we do here at the channel. If you're looking to turn over to Starlink, this is the best deal on the internet. You get the whole Starlink kit for free, and you get a free month of Starlink. You just got to pay 11 months of the first year. That's the deal. And we get a free month too. So do what's best for you. Get the fastest high-speed internet as low as $80 a month for the residential light. I pay $120, and it's enough to do the entire business here. You get high-speed internet no matter how remote you are, and even if you don't get cell service. It works everywhere on Earth. It's simple. You simply plug it in, point it at the sky, and walk away. It sets itself to the perfect position, and it starts running within the first 30 minutes. It's absolutely idiot-proof. And you get unlimited data, unlimited streaming at the $120 mark. And I've had a few outages in 6 years for just a few minutes. That's it. It is the most reliable high-speed internet I've ever used my entire life, and I've had internet since its inception. It's weather resistant. Yeah. The Starlink panel has a heater, which you can set to whatever setting you want, and it melts off or dries all rain. And even if you're in a blizzard, 4 or 5 inches an hour, this baby will heat up and get rid of the snow and keep you connected. It's insane. It's the best internet on Earth. Go get it. Support yourself, support your preparedness, and support the channel. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please hit the thumbs up, share the video, and if you're watching and you are unsubscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 100,000 subs by New Year's. Most importantly, be safe. We love you, and that is a boom.